So 3 days ago, I hopped on here really pumped up and motivated, and I said I was going to try to finish 4 rugs in a day. It has been 3 days, and I have completed 0 of those rugs. The struggle has been real. I've been hustling hard every day, but as far as any progression, I've just been treading water. So the biggest thing I keep reflecting on is that saying that I've heard. It's something along the lines of, there is no such thing as a failure, only a quitter. Now, I fully realize you can't apply that to everything in life, but in this project, that is 100% it. I refuse to fail. I'm not going to quit. So let me tell you what's been going on in my life. So my primary machine broke. That's okay. I have a backup. I am blessed enough to have a backup. It's been a while since I've had my backup, so I cleaned it up. I got going, and I already had my rugs prepped and ready to go. So my machine started skipping stitches, and I thought, okay, I don't have time to figure this out. And that's the problem. Anytime I even teach a class, if somebody reaches out with skip stitches, it is it's not as an easy fix. It's not like, hey, skip stitches equal this. It all varies with your machine. It can be your needle type. It can be your thread. It can be your tension. It can be a million different things. So I kind of quickly ran through it on mine. Didn't find any clear answer, which normally doesn't happen to me. So I got too mad, walked away, hopped over to my mom's machine. Same thing, running into so many issues. And let me show you. From a distance, this is the start of my Speedway rug. It probably looks okay. It's not that horrible. But up close, not only was my fabric super bunched up, but if you look at all these gaps and holes. Hold on, let me fix my camera. There we go. Not only is this bunched up more than normal, you're gonna have some normal bunching just because it's a tight bend, but this is excessive. And look at all of these skip stitches. You shouldn't have all of these puckers. And I was getting super mad. And it was happening not only on my machine, but my mom's machine. So then I keep thinking, okay, what is going on? This is normally a very solid backup machine for me. Well, I realized this is a different brand of fabric. And it did feel a little different when I was assembling it, but nothing bad. Had to be the fabric. So I needed to get out of the house. I stopped everything. I took my primary machine to the quilt shop to get service, which was an hour drive one way. So that was fun, but still worth it. And came back and I was ready to kind of regroup. Fortunately, I remembered only the green and the brown of this rug was that different brand of fabric. So I went ahead and thought, okay, I can still save this rug. I'm just going to replace the green and the brown, keep my roadway, keep the black, and keep going. Ready? So I did that. And now I have the higher quality brown with the green. We're doing good. And all of my lines lined up perfectly, which is great. But when I stopped to look at it again, I don't know if y'all can see, it looked dirty. So I flipped it, and I don't know if y'all can see, there's like little specks. And I thought, that's okay, let me get my lint roller. I started lint rolling, and it wasn't doing anything. Come to find out, these are all little specks of batting that are showing through my fabric. Then I realized it is the same fabric, I am almost positive, as the green and the brown that I was running into issues with. So even though from a distance it looks fine, I am not about to send out an order that looks dirty. Even though now the stitching is fine, there you can see it a little better. The quality's just not there. So now I get to start over for a third time, which has been so wonderfully frustrating. And then I realized not only do I get to start that particular rug for the third time, but this other jelly roll that I have fully prepped, ready to go, is consistent of all of that same fabric. So this is no longer good, at least for this project. You would think that would be all, but no. I bought new fabric, better quality fabric, came back home, regrouped, pumped, ready to go. Let's get this going. And my backup machine is still giving me issues. It's not wanting to flow right in the turns. It's also taking forever. It's just slow. I don't know what's happening. Come to realize two things. That's right, BJ. Come to realize two things. The feed, for whatever reason, the bottom feed of my sewing machine was low. It wasn't up all the way. That's going to help, or it's going to prevent it from turning and grabbing both sides. Also, my stitch length was shorter than normal. So instead of doing a nice big zigzag, I was doing a whole bunch of really tight zigzags, and it was just taking ages. It was taking ages. It was wasting a lot of thread that I didn't need, and the look wasn't right. It just looked very jumbled, very tight, and just the quality is all wrong. But good news, at least I refuse to not learn something from this. Your fabric does matter. You don't have to get crazy expensive fabric, but just be mindful of when you're purchasing what works with your machine and what doesn't. Because I will not be returning. I need to figure that one out again, what brand that was, but I'm not going back to that. 2, I always underestimated stitch length because the defaults of my machine worked out fine. Now I'm really going to put an emphasis on that during my classes just to let people know, kind of to be mindful of that. I never fully appreciated that until today. And lastly, now I just have more things to help people troubleshoot when they reach out, because I've ran in, despite the hundreds of rugs that I've made, I am still running into issues, which is fine because that just makes me more experienced for the next person. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope your days have been more productive than mine, but we're finally moving and we're gonna get through this.